Good morning and welcome to 30 Ways, 30 Days. I'm Susie Jacobs and it is 11:07, which means we get to spend 9 minutes together unpacking some of the common assumptions that can undermine your confidence and play havoc with your best laid plans. Today I come to you from the headland at Bondi and we are looking straight down the east coast of Australia to Botany Bay. So, who do we have here? I'm going to wait a minute and say hello while you enjoy the view. Oh my God, it is day 16 and it is also the first day of spring. Yay! Day 16, we're going to be asking, is fear bad for your health? But before we do, of course, we're going to review what we learned yesterday. And that was day 15, and we were asking, what do you mean by that? And why was this useful? Because we discovered that we don't actually listen to people, we interpret people. And because we're interpreting what that other person is saying, it leaves room for misunderstanding and for confusion. And so the most valuable question we can ask somebody is, what do you mean by that? And in doing so, we put the onus back on them to be really clear with us what the meaning is of that communication. So if you were doing that over the past 24 hours, I want to hear from you. Give me a wave, give me a juicy love heart, let me know you're out there. Good morning, Tom. Great to have you here again. I like our regulars. And anyone else, of course, who would like to join us. So great to see you here this morning. Let's crack on. We've got 9 minutes unpacking these assumptions which can play havoc with our confidence and undermine our plans. So, is fear bad for your health? Well, has anyone ever tried to give up sugar? Have you tried to give up sugar? If you have, you would have assumed that sugar is simply in things like cakes and biscuits and ice cream. Kind of easy to give up. But if you continue on your journey to give up sugar, you start discovering that sugar is in everything. It's insidious, it's pervasive. It's in your pasta sauce, in your pasta, in the bread, in your savory biscuits. It's in your teriyaki sauce, in your soy sauce. It can even be in your herbs and spices. It's everywhere, and you don't even notice it. Fear is a bit like that. You see, when we think of fear, we tend to think of that feeling of fear if we're going to go skydiving or bungee jump off a cliff. We might even think of fear as, going to the movies, scary movies, or being chased down the dark alley by the boogeyman. So, because that's what we think of fear, we're actually unaware of this context of fear. And it's in fact the environment that we've grown up in. And it's definitely on high alert at the moment. We're in a very fearful year at the moment with pandemics and talk of vaccines and political instability. But the context of fear is actually one that exists. It's pervasive, it's insidious, just like sugar. So how do you know how it's impacting your life? Well, consider this for a moment. Any time that you hold back putting yourself forward for a promotion, don't send out that application to apply for a contract. Don't call up a friend and ask them to go hang out. Don't tell somebody that you love them until they tell you first. That's all coming from a context of fear. It's all coming from this space of concern and fear that if you ask those things, you may get rejected. And in being rejected, you'll interpret that rejection as something about you, that you're not good enough, not valuable, not lovable. That is operating from a context of fear. Your greatest fear is that you're not lovable, valuable, and not good enough. And the truth is you are. But because we've grown up in this context of fear, it's a habitual, pervasive way of thinking. Now, that's a lot to take on. Can I tell you, this idea of love versus fear takes an entire module in our graduate program at Activate Academy. There is, and part of that program, and I'll just give you a quick insight, a psychiatrist called Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who in fact was the first to identify the 5 stages of grief, also identified that there are 2 primary emotions, love and fear. But she went on further to say that love and fear cannot exist at the same time. You're either operating from love or operating from fear. So we're going to use that to propel you forward for the next 24 hours. So instead of having to think, oh my God, am I operating from a context of fear, and trying to identify it, I'm going to give you one sentence which is going to snap you out of fear and send you straight into a context of love. And it's this: what would love do? So if you are sitting at your desk, you're at your family home, you're out walking, you've got worries and concerns and stress and anxiety, and there are opportunities to put yourself forward for a promotion or win a contract, and you can feel that anxiety and that fear bubbling away underneath, you can ask yourself, what would love do? And love, the context of love is about open-heartedness, compassion, kindness, joy, connection. That's love. So as soon as you ask that question, what would love do? You're going to trigger yourself out of fear and into love. And that's all I want you to do for the next 24 hours. So I've been talking a lot. I want to hear from you. Is this making sense? Can you give me a thumbs up? Are you still there? And if so, does this make sense to you? If not, post your questions in the feed. I will answer them personally after this Facebook Live. But for the moment, you are going to just go, great, I understand there are 2 contexts, fear and love. I may not know exactly what either of those mean, but if at any time over the next 24 hours I feel anxious, nervous, concerned, worried about the future, I'm just going to ask myself this one question: what would love do? Open-hearted, abundance, connectedness, compassion, and see how it triggers different thinking and different opportunities for you to take action. That's it for the next 24 hours. Anytime you feel nervous, anxious, worried, concerned, ask yourself, what would love do? And report back tomorrow. I want to hear from you. Don't get too worried about the context and whether you're in love or fear, just that one question. Are you up for it? Give me a yay, give me a wave, give me a indication that you're on board. And while you're doing that, I'm going to let you know how you can take this further. If what you've been hearing in 30 Ways, 30 Days is actually speaking to you, you are somebody who sees yourself as a lifelong learner, and you can see that training your brain to adapt to this new world is a priority for you. If you haven't already, you can jump over to susiejacobs.com and download our EQ SWOT. It is free, and I reply to every single one of those personally. If you've done that and you go, yeah, I still want more, we have got the Activator Advantage program starting up at the end of September. They are by application. So jump over to susiejacobs.com. Find the contact form, put your expression of interest in. That will open up a dialogue between you and me. We'll see if it's right for you, and we can go from there. So it's 30 Ways, 30 Days, day 16. Is fear bad for your health? Yes, it is. Can you do something about it? Absolutely. You just ask yourself, what would love do? And I look forward to hearing all your findings and insights and ideas tomorrow at 11:07. If you have missed this, or if you want to pass it on to somebody who you love and care about, they can see it at a watch party 9:07 tonight, 7:07 tomorrow morning. And I'll catch you back here at 11:07 tomorrow. Bye for now.